audio file.
Imagine thinking.
I
know, I'm just.
One day into a podcast.
Imagine that. It's like that's your goal. It's like,
To be fair, that's quite because we all have like some sort of interesting cards. Pretty, I think it'll be alright.
It'll be alright.
Yeah, true.
We're not like
Why so?
we're not like a regular ass drafter.
Does that indicate that your day will be kind of fun though? Like,
Yeah, but I'm still going to talk about people's balls like every other conversation. So, I mean, you know,
inside
that in
joke.
the podcast or
Yeah,
what?
inside joke.
Yeah, why not?
Bring them in.
Right. Yeah. True. Inside joke is a good one because you can just introduce them to it. Just be like, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna explain to it. I think this is very doable drunk. I 100% be drunk.
Because we'd be funnier when we're drunk.
Well, actually, no, not drunk, like tipsy. Maybe.
Tipsy, yeah.
don't
Drunk,
care.
you start talking.
Like if you start slurring, then it's bad.
Do I need tissue? Oh, I'll bring. Do you have tissue box?
If you can find it. Oh, down.
Is this a PG podcast?
Nah, it's gonna be like.
Nah, no, then I'm out. Not that I'm out. I actually always actively complain against your show.
Anyway, maybe we should introduce to the audience, whatever we are, whoever we are.
No, I think you should let them find out.
All right.
If they're interested in
Because,
content,
yeah.
they'll slowly learn about our lives.
Yeah. And when you begin, no one's watching anyway. So when people watch, it's usually they're halfway through your life already.
Yeah, and they come back.
They're already halfway through your life.
Oh, fuck.
Is it gonna be live?
Live. Edit. It's not live.
You said we talk about live then.
Huh?
What?
Did you say live?
What?
What?
I really think the idea of the podcast is cool though. Like I totally be keen.
Yeah.
And he's been wanting to
I mean,
podcast
if you're keen, I
Sure,
would.
yeah,
I would
that's
spend.
true.
I would.
For the
I would.
longest time.
Yeah. I mean, you listen to so many
yes,
podcasts.
please.
Why not make your own? You know.
Yeah.
I thought about it for sure. Yeah.
He's really.
Alright. Like if somebody's got time.
Yeah. Well, I said the why not thing, so it could be something.
Oh yeah, it could be sarcastic. Dude,
Never
I
know.
think you've confused my signaling process. Like before I was understanding PP fine, but now you've introduced this, when he says why not, it's sarcastic and I'm like,
That line of code is just.
It works for me.
My logic is just ruined.
That line of code is just like very.
It works for me when I hear why not. I'm like, okay. I mean sarcastically.
He doesn't mean what he's saying.
And the shell
I think you have to debug his line of programming. Right? Not very.
I think you have to debug yourself.
Yeah, so how come you don't like programming, man? Whatever happened to that?
Barely passed. That's fucking why.
So when you first did it, was it like, is it really, really fun and you thought you were going to do this?
Yeah.
Or when you first did it,
Or maybe it's too competitive. Like my uni, is too damn,
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
too damn good. So I was like,
yeah,
fuck,
true.
whatever.
Fuck, if you good?
I'm fucking Thai royalty. Who the fuck are you? I don't need to fucking compete on your level.
That's what happens when you go to like fucking prominent universities around the world. You find that that's where all the money goes. So
Yeah,
the people
yeah.
are likely to be good.
Like
at
in
something.
high school, I'm like, I'm smart. But then once you're like first year, oh shit, I'm very dumb.
Get beef before it gets all bad.
Yeah. It gets all. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I'm dumb. Okay. Fuck off. Wow. At least I completed my.
Yeah.
So good.
So after, did you always want to do a master's, or was it like after programming? When did you decide that you would want to continue studying rather than?
It's more like,
Very fun.
you don't know what to do yet. So I'm like, might as well. I don't want to waste my years.
Yeah. Let's go somewhere else in the world.
Well, actually, I plan to stay, but they kicked me out. So I'm like,
shit.
cheaper anyway here. So.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that you keep on moving.
I didn't plan, man.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's almost like you lucked out that life pushed you this way anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's
Kind of in a good way.
yeah, when the border opens, I just have this fantasy of like being like, alright, what if I tell myself I don't come back for a bit and just see what happens? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'll live.
You'll live. Be fine, man.
Depends how far you want to go.
I don't know, man.
Unless you go to like fucking.
No, Europe. It's not gonna be like fucking Africa or something.
Yeah, I think like I'm about to say like unless you're going to like
on the safari
Africa.
plains of Africa.
Yeah, to see some
become
random
a
Asian dude.
hunter-gatherer,
Random Asian dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
if,
like
you,
that
if you
dude,
wander
that
into the
Korean
wrong
dude.
part,
Oh yeah, David Shaw or something.
Yeah. Holy fuck, he's insane.
Yeah, that guy is like, what the fuck? He tried to find a dinosaur
Do
or
you know
something.
this guy?
Yeah, he tried to find a dinosaur.
So he's this
in
like
the middle of
Asian kid who's like
Kenya.
who's always been overseas. Like he was overseas from like when he was like
18, I think.
yeah. No, younger than that.
Really?
Something. Anyway, he like when he was 18, he went to Africa because there was an article that said they found like dinosaurs there.
I want to fucking find a
So
dinosaur.
this 18-year-old Korean kid who's just out there.
He likes dinosaurs or what?
Well, he just wants to find the discovery. It's like a journey thing, I think. It's like
Wants to visit, yeah.
it's not. I mean, dinosaurs are still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you know, I think the core driver is like this like adventurousness. And then he went to fucking Africa and he met like a local tribe there, and then he has to like stay with them. And these guys just run till the animals are tired. You know, these guys run for like miles, and he was just living with them, and people were like, dude.
When was this?
Oh fuck.
90s?
Yeah, 90s, 80s.
Yeah. He's not that old. There we
He's
go.
like
Gonna add
30,
more.
40 now.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
To yours, okay.
chopsticks.
So, still that's the teenage life. A little bit too. Oh yeah, and he was traveling like in this jungle with like one of his friends that he ended up really hating, and he almost killed him. He's like, I swear one day I was gonna do it because I was going mad with this guy. Two of us lost in the jungle.
Is it like a German?
Yeah, some German
Yeah.
dude. And then he was like stealing my food, and he's like
Very
annoying,
douchey.
he's,
Don't
yeah,
put the
pissy.
thing near the fire, man. Don't put plastic near fire.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Although I would say if you did live, if that was your teenage years, you did live. You
Definitely.
become like untouchable.
Yeah, probably.
You're just like
Experienced.
fuck you. Yeah. Who the fuck are you? You go to school and people pick on you. You're just like fuck you.
You
You
don't
don't
know-
know what I can
you
do
don't
to
know
you.
shit.
You don't know what I can fucking do.
Shove it here.
Is that done?
Yeah.
Grab the other one. Wait, somebody grab that beef before I like.
So is it good investment to buy the dip?
Right now?
No, it's actually me.
Oh, okay. Dude,
Asshole.
I didn't hear. Why not?
Hey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now it's all skew now for me.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Gotta fucking relight.
Oh,
Oh yeah. You fucking
yeah.
stir it first, man.
Oh shit. Alright.
PB's blunder. PB, what do you reckon the biggest blunder in life is? The PB.
Not buying the dip.
You bought the dip though, look.
Yeah. So you're gonna buy this dip?
What
The
kind
Bitcoin
of
dip?
fucking charlatan?
Bitcoin dip, man.
Spicy.
Big ass dip yesterday.
Spicy.
Big ass dip. Did you buy it?
Nope.
Do you currently hold any crypto whatsoever?
No, I just too much into gold and like nothing else.
And you're
I'm broke.
no, you're stuck basically.
Yeah.
No cash flow.
Yes.
Good job.
Rip my life.
Lesson learned.
Probably not
Alright. In.
coming to send and not coming back. Sometime next week.
if the price still go down,
Yeah.
don't want to live anymore.
What's the chili?
Yes, please.
The volatility of it really drives people mad. Like I watch one of my good friend, Leon. He's like this smart, like Singaporean dude, and he thinks himself as like, I guess, invincible in a way, and he is in many parts. But then when he started doing trading like crypto, he was not the same person. This guy was like I would say semi-depressed and like tired all the time. He's staring at a chart like most of the day, and you know he's not like an emotional guy usually. He's like
that's good,
highly logical usually, and you know it's like hey, trade like a robot, right? Definitely not like a robot. So you know if you're buying the dip, then you bring a lot of trouble with you too. You carry a lifetime of.
You're buying the dip, you're paying the dip.
Juicy. How would you start the car podcast?
Sorry.
Would you necessarily be? Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Are we talking about the dip?
Yeah, the dip is.
I mean, we can just talk about anything.
Wow, yeah, I had no idea that was like already started.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
Alright,
like-
it's E. coli free water.
I mean, I don't know. If like,
I don't know, I feel like we can like forcefully talk about cars.
Yeah.
we just pick a topic and
Yeah.
I
we're
don't
just
plan to, yeah.
trying to stay on that topic.
Literally, if we're here for like 4 hours, you might get like 1 hour, one podcast, like 1 hour worth of content. You know
Good
what I
enough.
mean?
We do this every day.
I mean,
That's pretty much like.
I mean, I think it would be like weekend thing once per week.
Yeah,
In the weekend.
Or else we have nothing to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Seriously talk.
I'm definitely into this. And
I'm in because I'm got nothing to do.
yeah, the thing is like we only have a few of us, which means like.
I mean, sometimes we can bring like a guest in or
Yes,
something.
yeah.
No, look, I'm just really happy that it's technically an incentive to be, I guess, more open about like you, right, as a person. Like whatever the fuck you're up to, because hey, you just gotta find interesting content. And I like to know what the fuck people are up to, so you know, like, it suits me well.
Yeah, this is like no, barely any spice. Still depressed.
Too depressed.
Well, I mean, you've still got that block, you can chug it all in.
Yeah.
It's definitely up to you guys. I mean,
Yeah, PB.
you're in charge of your destiny.
At that
Go on,
point,
go on,
does
go on,
it
go on.
become
Hey.
MSG?
There's a friendly face here.
Ah, Jesus.
Cockroach?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
Queensland.
Probably looking for some food.
Oh yeah,
Vincent.
there's food there.
Hey.
Food. Better move to food.
Oh,
Oh, dude, look at it! Holy
Bro.
fuck, dude, that's fucking Usain Bolt. Cockroach. man.
Formula-
Did you see
Formula
it
One.
run, dude?
Yeah,
Like, holy fuck.
Formula One shit.
It reminds me of that like lizard running across that field in like Earth or something like.
With all the snakes.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
snakes. You know, you're just like because
BBC.
the front part of his body is completely aero, like in the air. And it's the same as this. Like his front legs wasn't even on the fucking ground.
He's just like rear wheel drive.
Doing a wheelie.
But technically, that cockroach has a like a good distribution of G-wagon, very top heavy.
Ah, yeah.
The wing, right?
It accelerates like a G-Wagon too, because it tilts.
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
It tilts very much so.
Six wheel drive.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah,
6x6
yeah, 6 by 6,
G-Wagon.
yeah. Oh man, that should be in the podcast.
Dude,
We just talk crap and then it'll be interesting. Anyway,
agreed.
you know.
Fuck. I want to see some like artistic depiction of that. Can you merge the idea of a 6x6 G-Wagon and a cockroach when it runs? You can give that to an artist and say, hey, I want you to produce this and I'll give you like $50.
I think that
And they'll
would
do it.
yeah. Give it to the end.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's pretty good. He's multi-talented, man. Like he's that guy.
He in what way?
I don't know. He can play like good.
He draws pretty well.
He draws pretty well. He plays Smith pretty well.
He does photography. He's a little bit like Ron actually.
Yeah. True.
Got a lot
Like a
of
Swiss
got a lot
Army
of
knife.
skill.
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife, man.
Yeah. Kind of hidden in a way too.
Yeah.
It's like he's not like shouting at you.
But then he played the sax at my place. Pretty good.
He did what?
He played the saxophone. Yeah, the saxophone.
Oh, holy fuck. Yeah, that's considered one of the harder ones.
Well, pretty good, but like I couldn't learn it, man. Like,
Saxophone.
Not gonna blow it.
Did
But
you
like,
try? Like,
yeah.
how come you have one in your house?
my sister plays it,
Okay.
but she didn't have a teacher, so she kind of gave up. Yeah. But,
Oh, dude, what? That's a hack. Dude, what you have there is not. That's not intended use.
What do you do?
It's a clamshell and like it's like closed,
It's
but like
closed.
the top part is open, like there's a hole in it.
There was a window. It's like, imagine the shell is closed, but instead of opening it the normal way, you have a little window on the surface of it. Maybe you can find it in the thing.
Whatever.
Yeah, and he's just like, because I saw you pick it up. You picked it up and then you looked at it and you're like, oh, okay, there's no way to open this. And then you flipped it around and you saw this like
went
little
right in like a
window.
bird.
And in my mind, I just imagine you going, oh, okay, no problem, I'll take this. And you put your chopsticks in there.
There's some like monkey storming going on. How do I use tools to beat this?
Can I have
Yeah,
more?
it's possible.
Meat, please?
God has like paint half the weight from it. And then I just do this.
Tong. Oh shit. Tong? Beef juice.
Isn't it crazy it's technically tongs? Like one of these is a plural thing. Isn't that kind of ridiculous to me? That's ridiculous. Plurals don't make sense. Like the
You need two to make one. You get it?
I know, yeah, I obviously get the logic, but
I still don't get
You
it.
have a tongue?
And you have a tongue. Yeah, just have
just
tongue.
break it in two, and then you have a
break it-
tongue.
Yeah, you have a tongue.
Like you have half of a pencil or something. Yeah, honestly, plural.
Oh
I'm like,
shit.
what's plural?
Oh shit. Who's your fish president?
Okay, what happened?
It's like your fire stick.
What?
Bro.
Oh, bro, you're contaminating the waters, man.
It's in the way.
Why were a
No
secret when you just
No
like
respect.
No
freaking shove things into other pot, man?
You can tell you.
Alright, put it back.
Yeah, you can tell you shouldn't be a diplomat of any sort. You don't just do this to like other things around you.
Like, put the school budget into some.
I find it crazy that like countries can use to just buy other parts of another country. You know, it's like Russia can just sell like part of its land. to
Technically,
America or
the
something.
monarchs own the land.
Okay.
Technically, the monarchs own the land. They can do whatever they want.
Is this still the case? Do you know? Not really. Like,
That's
in
voted
any
this.
enforceable way.
Not at least not England. I don't know about other.
China.
Other like monarchs. Like, what about Thailand? Thailand's not fucking monarchy.
Thailand sold some
So
of the land.
to Malaysia. That's why Malaysia exists.
Sold to England.
Oh.
England was colonizing Malaysia.
Yeah, yeah. When people sell their land, it's like, ooh.
That's who owns Thailand?
The one?
We own
Thai king?
Malaysia owns a little bit or something.
No. Malaysia. Yeah, that's why Malaysia exists. We sold the land.
Yeah.
That's why Malaysia. Oh,
Yeah. Before that,
Siam.
by
Yeah,
UK
yeah.
people. Right.
we
so
sold
UK
to
came.
English,
Oh,
Colonizers.
holy fuck! That's a lot. Very Malaysia's sizable, man.
and then we just pretend that we're independent.
Well, we technically are.
Yeah, because we sold the part. That's why they didn't bother to colonize us.
Oh yeah, just buy whatever. Just don't touch us.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least we can, say that we still independent.
Alright, when we go back, we're gonna get arrested. If I put the podcast.
Yeah. Wow, so
Whatever.
Thailand used to be very
jeez.
big then. If you combine.
Yes,
Malaysia
very.
and fucking
Kingdom of
King-
Siam.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is the thing.
Almost Vietnam, I think.
So what's Siam?
No, bigger than
Same as what
Thailand's
Thailand
bigger
used to
than
be when it
Vietnam
was-
right now.
No, I mean before it
Oh,
conquered
Kingdom of
There's
Siam.
no Vietnam. That,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a period.
Before. Oh wow. It's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
this
yeah.
like oasis in the fucking south.
Mm.
That like
Big resourceful territory.
Big
the
energy.
kingdom of Siam. Man, that sounds.
So we still use the. Well, now we just say Kingdom Thailand, kind of lame, but whatever.
But we have Siam Paragon.
Shopping mall.
Paragon.
It's a fucking shopping mall.
Siam Center.
Yeah.
Saying like a Thai,
No,
shopping
that's
center.
true. Like that's the same feeling I got when I went to Singapore. It's just like you've normalized everything. Everything is like dragon thing. Everything is like whatever used to be great. Now it's just plain the Siam fucking shopping center.
That's Icon Siam now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Icon.
Other side of the river.
No? I haven't been
Very
there.
new, very flashy.
Flashy, flashy and flashy every year, man.
See, like I think China as a country just has a big problem with like losing
no.
land. Like it's like these fuckers are like,
What you mean? We're losing land?
You know how they get really sensitive every time, like when it's like you can do a lot of things like economically, you know, whatever. But when you like the moment you start like trying to take a little bit of their land, Chinese people are like, yo, bro, don't fuck with my land. And they're like,
Yo, have you seen our new aircraft carrier?
yeah, that's fine.
Subtle flex.
No, but like what they did was like just like basically just came to an area and like, yeah, we've
We
been here
bought
for
a
2,000
sub.
years.
We bought a sub from China, 7 submarine. I mean, yeah,
We also
Probably
bought
like
tanks
some-
from Ukraine.
some shitty
We used to
diesel
buy like
sub.
whatever. We used to buy American stuff, but now like whatever is on sale, like discount.
Yeah, shit. Who usually would that be? Probably Russia. I don't know.
Ukraine. Ukraine's the discount version of Russia.
Holy shit. Ukraine is the man. That's true, eh? 'Cause you go to Ukraine to get like
Waifu.
Dutch.
Yeah, discount waifu.
Submarines
Discount
and
Russian
waifu.
waifu.
Maybe that's the trip. Like if you ever go to Ukraine, the trip
Bundle.
is
You get a bundle.
yeah, you get a bundle.
A tank and a waifu.
The military waifu bundle.
Oh, that's really good, man.
Oh.
That's really good. And here's what you do: you start a coin, like start a token.
Call a waifu
that
coin.
represents part of your share in this reward.
Waifu tank coin.
Yeah, the military waifu experience is now $10,000. It's like, oh, how many of those tokens do you have? You know, you can exchange one of those for an experience, right?
That's royalty food, man. It's like
Yeah.
like
a
you
lump.
eat Hotpot.
It's like a lung. Wow. Now it's got the human torso. It's got 2 lungs. I'm gonna rescue these ones. I think.
Rescue.
Good idea.
What do you
That
think
should
about
be it.
lungs?
Yeah. No more.
What do you mean by lungs?
What do you think about lungs?
Have it.
Lungs are very interesting, hey?
Don't eat it. No.
No, maybe
This
it's
one.
like eating
Yeah,
lungs.
take it up.
Oh, I love like I think the chicken.
Beef lungs? Pork
Yeah,
lungs?
beef lungs or something.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, pork lung. Pork lungs with like soup. Like there's a pork lung soup. That's like really incredible.
You know what's great? Like we can talk about food and cars with Hotpot and cars.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, take it out. It's good. Trust.
A bit of a
BB.
Yeah, that's BB's. Maybe you gotta experience this.
flip it around a bit. Get a bit of red.
Spicy.
Ooh, yeah. It's
Look at my paste, man. This is like a proper paste now.
Yeah.
Red.
really good.
Oh,
Fuck yeah. Happy for you now.
Need more red.
yes.
Yes.
Red.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Hey, if I find mushrooms along the way, I'm doing mushrooms.
Plenty of mushroom.
Any
What do you
mushroom
mean, like
food?
natural?
It's like, no. Well, I don't know if we'll go natural mushroom picking. I don't know how. But if I find someone
Risky
selling
as
it,
fuck.
Find cow.
because they're usually like travelers. Yeah, just
No, bring a mushroom farm, man.
oh man, when it rains, you just like start looking around.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
start
rainy season,
flipping
yeah.
through the yellow
No.
pages, and you're like,
I think it's dry season.
Can I find a cow
Really
farm?
dry.
I thought
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Summer is dry.
thunderstorm.
Summer is not dry for the most part, and then the spring is the fall is about it's stormy season.
Storm sea.
Yeah, stormy season. Stormy sea Daniels.
Ooh, that's a juicy one. In both sense. Stormy Daniels.
Stormzy Daniels.
Where's the sauce?
Wait, isn't it called? Wait, who are you talking about first of all?
No, I'm just like
Where's the sauce over there somewhere?
Stormzy's a rapper, and Stormy
Yeah,
Daniels
yeah,
is like a hooker.
Stormy Daniels is a hooker, right?
Yeah.
The Trump thing, yeah.
I'm just combining the two.
Juicy nonetheless.
Very
The
big.
one that like had a scandal with Trump.
Yeah,
The most famous hooker in the
Oh
world.
yeah, wasn't she a porn star?
Or it's not a hooker. Could be both.
Trump's fucking hilarious.
I mean,
Fucking love this guy. Like, he's a natural talent.
tell me what's the difference
TV
between a
man.
hooker and a porn star?
Oh wow.
Cameras.
Yeah, exactly. Just the only cameras. Basically, if you film yourself, like you're banging Donald Trump, you're a porn star.
Is Donald Trump a porn star then?
that the only way to be?
Oh yeah.
Is that the only way to? Is that the only way to be a porn star?
Not the only way, but one of the ways, I guess.
Film yourself fucking drunk.
That's like the worst.
Hey man, like quick pass.
I just think about how many people
I
do
mean,
it.
Donald Trump put
There
his
would be
name.
so many people that would do this.
Yeah, Donald Trump like to put his name on everything.
Yeah, man, that's how he makes money almost.
You're the gatekeeper.
You're the gay. Yeah.
Yeah. You're the gatekeeper with a sword, slaying all this woman.
Oh, protein.
All right. Bring this home, put it in a blender, shake it, and then drink.
Yeah.
Probably be delicious.
Pre-digest.
Yeah, make a smoothie out of it.
Hotpot smoothie.
Yeah.
Open a shop.
It cools it down with the ice, is what I'm hoping. Like it's tangy
No,
on
you
both sides.
put some ice cream in it to add some flavor.
Banana.
Sounds like it's really
Oh yeah, be like full hot pot, you know, dessert.
Starting to sound too much like a normal smoothie now.
Oh yeah, just with Hotpot juice though. I don't think you can ever ignore, like, doesn't matter how much shit you
Yeah,
have,
you
the
know.
Hotpot juice is not going to become negligible.
Maybe gonna put like a tiny drop of this in like a smoothie.
I mean, this is
will
like-
you manage to like taste it?
The question is why?
I don't know.
Why not, right?
Why not? It's the answer
Yeah,
to
that's a
everything.
good question. Why not, indeed? It's like log
Shall we
in
put
the
another brick?
jungle, man. Actually,
Sure.
locking it.
But I'm almost full, man. Like, what's the
Tundra or
point?
something.
Man?
Make it spice.
Yeah, but like, shouldn't assume. I'm full. Almost.
Very saucy bowl.
I ate out the fish cakes. That's why it's full. It's very
You guys
filling.
have a lot of like stuff on the bottom of your thing, by the way.
Vinny's like, oh, I feel this dense culture
Alright, you
streaming
can have
back
the
in.
clam
What is this foundation?
I don't like clam stuff.
Oh yeah, oh, bro.
It's like foraging, man.
Alright.
Is the
Spicy
flame
though.
even on?
Spicy though. You can
So
go.
you put your foot in and it just sinks.
You going for this, man? It's spicy.
It's not that spicy.
Oh, that's spicy.
Why don't we just
Just
do the
looks
spicy
very
one?
spicy.
It's just painted red.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
But logic tells me that just because it's painted red doesn't mean it's spicy. Sometimes it's
It's like a
strawberry.
MR2. It's red MR2.
Oh. Well, yeah.
People think it's
True.
a Ferrari.
It's like any modern 86 to a normal person.
It's like, oh, there's a sports car.
Yeah.
Must be fast. Little did they know.
Yeah.
Why we shit on 86 so much, man? Let it be.
Because it's pretty shitty. No, they're just too many.
Yeah,
Every corner you see some dickhead who thinks he's in the hottest shit, and he wants to race you in his 86.
Yes, I get that a lot.
And he doesn't realize his big wang slows him down a lot.
His wing was supposed to make him, in his mind, faster, but nope, just generate a lot of drag.
Still love my wing gang. These guys are great.
So,
I think the 86 people asked to be shit on. They present the stereotype so distinct.
they want to be
They just come up
stereotyped.
with natural conversation and it's like, oh look, we're shitting on the 86 people again. And it's like, no, you naturally fall into the bucket.
To be fair, people like shit on BMW drivers a lot as well.
Well, for
Really?
good reason.
No, the only stupid thing I see is BMW people shitting on Mercedes people shitting on BMW people. It's just the dumbest fucking fight.
And here we have like a Mercedes and a
I'm
BMW.
literally Buddha right now.
Yeah, man.
I'm the Gandhi of cars.
Well, you don't have Jap. You don't have Jap car.
I've got my. Oh no, but like, you know. You're the Gandhi.
Holy shit! Vinny's made it. Holy fuck.
But yeah, so on the topic of cars of the nation, like
Oh fuck, sorry.
favorite cars of the nation. You know, like Germany.
Hard to say.
My price range definitely Germany.
Oh, you mean
I mean,
that?
like, which car would you go for? Just if you
Oh, you pick the one
best,
country.
the best,
and
the
then,
best,
yeah.
one country, and then
For me, Germany, for sure.
No,
no, one country.
What
Which
car?
car from that country?
Yeah.
Like the best car that you think from that country?
SLS AMG.
All right,
The
that's a
only
pretty good
car.
choice.
Black.
Black?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only,
You're like,
the
why
only,
not? Why not?
the only real car.
Real car.
What about the new black? The orange black.
Orange is the new black.
Yes.
Italy.
Mm.
Vinny? Over.
Our best.
What car?
What car out of that country?
Hard, right? It's
Maserati MT20.
Haven't,
Wow, I don't even know what it's like.
it's not even out yet.
It will be.
And how you know it's good?
It looks good. Sounds good. That's all
Sounds
Italian
good.
car needs to do.
Sounds good, yeah.
I question that.
It's V6 twin turbo, isn't it?
Or there's
so,
an
yeah.
electric version that tells them nothing.
There's an electric version.
Yes.
What's going on?
You know, the new 2020 Alpine
Yeah, the one that I showed. in the
is
group.
1.8 liter.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
What's Alpine?
It's
like a French.
Yeah, Alpine.
Alpine. Or Alpine. I don't
Alpine.
know.
I think it's Alpine.
Alpina, I think it's too close to Alpina.
I think it's Alpine.
Alpine.
It is called the Alpine, the French Alps.
It's called 110. Yeah, whatever.
1.8 liter, twin turbo, 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds.
A110. Yeah, that's mid-engine. Pretty good. Pretty small.
That's basically as fast as your M4 with
Faster.
1.8 liter.
But the car way less than.
Is it
ton.
4-cylinder?
Yeah.
It won't have the same like kick, at least.
I mean, it should.
No,
Surge,
after
the
like
surge.
100.
Yeah, the surge.
After 100, that
Yeah,
the
after
M3
100.
M4 still goes a lot, but like the
Yeah, after
thing
100, it's out of power.
It's
Yeah.
just horsepower, yeah.
Just out of muscle.
I like small cars, I think. Like,
Yeah.
very good.
I think we all, right? Well, except.
No, Vinny likes.
except Vinny.
Yeah.
No, I got into big cars because of Vinny, and then I'm like, actually, I don't really. This is too
No,
much.
I like small cars. I fucking love Fiats.
Yo, bro, get the SLK 55, man.
Yeah.
I always bitch on about the
old one.
The Abarth 500, you know.
Oh, that's a 2013 model.
That's true. Like one of those tiny
Same
Abarths.
year as mine, one in Thailand.
Yeah, that would be nice.
2001.
I guess I don't like mid-range. I like min-maxing the cars. If it's gonna be a small car, you want the small car experience, right? So you get a Lotus, you get a fucking Abarth 500, you know?
595?
Yeah.
595, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
595.
Kind of like a sequential.
That's
Or
not great.
500, like either
Yeah.
or.
Wait, they come with like optional sequential box as well.
I don't know.
Maybe
Sure.
someone to fact check.
You're gonna go big
Jamie.
car. You go Grand Tourer.
we need Jamie in the podcast.
Pull it up, bring it up.
Or
Jake.
any of you guys watch Steven Crowder? Steven Crowder. Okay.
Shrouder?
Who is he?
Steven Crowder.
Crowder.
He's
What
also a
is he?
podcast dude.
Yeah, it's like a
Pretty
talk about politics. And
Is that
shit.
who is that? Is that the Savage Geese guy?
No.
No. No.
He's also a podcast guy, but more news, more current events than.
Yeah, and mostly politics. I think.
Yeah.
Very right wing.
Pretty funny.
I don't know, can't remember.
Generally.
How done are we?
We still have more.
Yeah, well, I can put more
We have-
veggie in.
Yeah, we have almost out of meat, so.
What do you mean?
I don't think so,
We have
man.
plenty. I would say we have a comfortable amount.
Yeah, it'll be enough for all of us.
Alright.
Like by now, we probably don't even want to eat all that much meat anymore, do you?
This is in all the cow. Oh, we still have Wagyu. Cow.
Oh, that's like 2 slices of Wagyu left.
Yeah. We can add some clams. Oh no. Oh yeah, let's do
Plenty of clams.
Well,
Perfect.
you mean in the literal sense or the other sense?
What? No, what?
Clams?
What kind of clams?
What do you mean? What are you doing?
I'm trying to, yeah.
Isn't it like a slang?
Slang, sexual slang or what?
Yeah.
Still.
If you're like
5?
if you're born in the 70s.
Alright. Maybe I was.
If you're 5, yeah.
Very useless spit for this. OPP clam, bro.
Not have those whole ones. What?
The way you said.
Get in there. Wildly cool.
Wild caught.
It's like, how else are you gonna get a poacher?
So do
Farm.
You
so
can
are,
farm it.
so are the clams? Do the clams live up to my name?
I think they're pretty good.
Okay.
You know,
PP clam.
They have a special taste to it. You know.
Oh, wait, is PP like
It's like
PP
balls.
Island? Because that's how they spell it.
Oh, maybe.
Called PP.
What, is this something in Thailand?
Yeah.
No, they could have harvest from that island. Who knows? I don't know.
That's like a tourist island, isn't it?
Yeah, in the middle ocean.
PP
Makes no
Island?
sense.
PP
Makes no
Island,
sense,
dude.
yeah.
We gotta go see PP Island, sure.
Yeah, the one that got like a lot of people died during the tsunami. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, what the
Very
fuck?
haunted island now, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's not that
Shotgun,
popular. It's not that popular
Tap out of that
after
one.
that.
What do you mean not popular? I think people still quite. Yeah.
But it's not as popular.
Yeah. No.
I think it's pretty interesting.
Oh, wait, wagyu.
I would totally go there.
I would go.
Yeah,
I
really check it out. The
It's
remnants.
quite far though. Like you take like an hour.
I think they're all gone now. They probably have like some monument here and there.
Yeah.
But that's it.
A Thai prince died.
Yeah. I told.
What
wait,
the
who,
fuck?
who did I?
A
Did
Thai
I-
prince died.
I told you, right?
No,
I
I
didn't know.
knew that before. What?
Yeah. Part of
He killed someone.
Thai royalty for real.
But they
Prince,
only
yeah,
meet
yeah.
PP?
So cool. All right,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, if you're for,
I'll-
just take that one.
But his last name is Jensen, so he's
Yeah,
half.
He's half foreign.
Not Jensen. It's half
Jensen, but
Jensen. Jewish last name, is it?
Pretty good size too.
he's like what? 12 or
Estimated
something,
height.
right?
No, he's a bit older, but he's a bit autistic. Properly, not like
Oh.
new that kind of sense.
No.
There's a good kind and there's a bad kind.
Yes.
The kind where you don't
Good
become
job.
king.
According to
The kind where you don't become king.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind.
The tyrant. Yeah.
Maybe that's the kind that they want you to become king.
Do you think some countries want to be enslaved more than others?
You mean the population or
Yeah. Well, I guess however you measure their
the
average
submissiveness?
sentiment. Yeah.
Submissiveness.
Like,
It's like-
Asian countries?
I mean, you think about like some countries. I don't know. It's like
but like,
surely it varies.
But do you think North Koreans, like for example, would willingly submit themselves or not?
Kenny found my post. I didn't
Not
know
to
he
that
was-
degree.
Kenny found my post.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was on Yuki Stalker's page. He posted it.
Wait.
It's posted in our
Yeah.
G-Wagon boy.
G-Wagon boy. That's
Over
what
there
call
now.
him
We call him G-Wagon boy.
That's the name. Oh, yeah, I haven't named the gecko Vinny, but I've named that cockroach.
G-Wagon boy.
What's the cover?
It's the G-Wagon boy.
Oh, my hole is so big. There was a
What?
lot of food.
What?
Oh, your hole is so big.
Dude, is it really a hole or is it more of a?
I sucked a lot of content out of the hole. Yes.
Nah, it's not a hole anymore because it's 3-dimensional, right? How is it even? a
Cavity,
hole?
I guess.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah, it's cavity.
isn't it the same for that hole we talked about?
No, it just describes the hole. It doesn't like. Well, I guess in some ways it does. In some ways it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like both. It's like when you look at it and you're like, all right, really, you're gonna tell me it's just a ring? So if I remove the ring, you don't see this as any problem?
Or you mean like there's an end that's not a hole, right? Like
Yeah.
a whale is not a hole, but according to you.
Well, it's
Or is
like
it?
when it's a 2-dimensional thing, it's like, is that a hole? I don't know. Because at the top it's a hole. The thing that holds it, it's not the hole. Maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a pretty complicated world. Like you have to construct to be able to parse it artistically like that. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know if I should feel bad or if I do feel bad every time like I mention like the autistic people because I'm just like surely they know I'm just like fucking around like and I'm like oh yeah.
We know that you're fucking around.
People always like there's this like oh yeah you should make fun of autistic people and I'm like they'll be fine man
Or like when you say the word retarded, like
They're not gonna be bothered.
Yeah, dude, no one is like then it's just other people. It's probably usually their parents.
Literally, the
that
only
are like-
people who are offended by the retarded terms aren't retarded people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly, dude. It's like, and you can imagine mums doing this all the time.
Honestly, I don't even think moms do it.
Hey?
It's literally just SJWs.
No. Okay, so
someone without kids.
no. Well, the protectionism
kids.
thing is really massive. Like this, you know, one of my friends like tells me that because he's like a French dude with like his wife, and then he took his kids to the playground and he just lets him play. And this guy is like very well socialized and very like he's got it, and he's like really fun kid. He's really curious about anything. He's just super hyper, and so he lets his kids run around. And one of the other kids' mom, because like apparently all the other kids were going the opposite way up the slide. And the mom wants her kid to use the slide but down, and then so the mom gets into the playground and physically blocks the other kids, like so that her kid could go up and go down. And this is like so I'm like, to me honestly, moms like drown their kids.
Yeah, that will ruin the kid
Yeah, and I'm like,
in
wow.
the future. Surely.
So, yeah, honestly, like, and imagine like if you're one of those Karens and your son
Oh
is
fuck!
autistic.
I feel bad. Not
Yeah,
if it's just a
and
normal
it's-
kid. I would just feel bad for them.
Yeah.
But do you think it's a form of control?
Yeah,
Like
I
you
think
control every single one of your
it's the
child's actions?
archetypical ancestral love, like of the mother. It has that same element. It's just like I love it so much that I would rather it drown. You know.
No more like of the feeling of control of the child's every like.
Yeah. I think that could be part of it for sure.
Yeah.
Because
That's like my mom. Like she want to be in control, but I just don't let her.
Yeah, my mom's the same.
Asian parents
My
pretty.
mom's the same. My friend's mom's
Yeah.
the same. And we're all affected by to different degrees, right?
Yeah, Asian parents should be a fucking
I think
medical
it's-
symptom.
I don't
Asian
think it's
parents
limited to
syndrome.
Asian parents. Like, look at the white moms,
Maybe
the white
not
soccer
restricted.
moms.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Jeez.
But mostly you see more in Asian culture. It's like
Because we've experienced that, but like we haven't experienced the
the white
the white
culture.
Yeah.
Every now and then it comes out at you though.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, like if you just go through day-to-day life, like the Australian or whatever culture that you're currently in, just said physically manifests.
Oh fuck.
No, good meal.
Yeah, proper feast, man.
This is post-dinner bake time.
I'm saving my dessert stomach.
Yeah, lol, you're just like, no.
No, that's a different stomach.
That's an
That's
entirely
a
different,
different stomach.
You can always fit dessert.
Jeez.
No matter how old you
Shameless. These people.
Do you have any dessert, Tony? Are you a dessert man? I don't see you as a dessert man for some reason.
And Kath might have some like ice cream.
are. There's a saying in Thai.
But yeah, I don't
ข้าวไม่หวานสันดานไพ่ basically mean wait how do I explain this to you like if you don't
I think
if
you
you
explained
don't
it once. I forgot about
if
it.
you don't eat dessert after your meal
Yeah.
you're basically a peasant or slave or something like that
Oh.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Sanyan. Hey.
So
Oh, right.
currently living the slave life.
Is that why everything is so sweet?
Sweets.
Currently living the peasant life right here.
Yeah, because back then the parents, that's how they differentiate, you know, like upper class and the
It's
slave.
sugar, basically. Just put tons of sugar and then you'll be rich.
Yeah,
And you get diabetes.
yeah. Like this, we're talking about like freaking 3 centuries ago, something like that.
Maybe sugar was rare again.
Fuck, dude.
That's like
Centuries is a long time.
Maybe,
Like,
Yeah.
really.
maybe that's
Three of them.
3 of those together, man.
before Bangkok. even
Before-
Bangkok.
before the
Shit,
US
it's
was
not
formed,
the same.
Yeah, before Bangkok is about like
before
wait,
the
how-
US was formed.
US
Yeah.
US
Right?
is 1495.
I don't actually know.
No,
the age of it.
17 something.
Oh,
But
wait.
300 would
Oh,
take
discover.
back like all of the
Yeah, discover,
important
yeah, but
stuff
like-
that I think are important, that highlights like modern life.
1770
right?
something.
It's like all of
That's
the
what-
philosophical
If you
shit
go
that's
back
gone.
100 years, it basically
That's the
removes all
formation of
that.
the country, man.
You don't need to go
Yeah.
back 3 centuries. Just 1 century, and we just erases everything that we basically define as modern life.
Yeah, you would like if you ever get a fever, they would drain your blood.
Oh,
Yeah, and
you
they,
like
they
that?
don't even drain. They would just get a bag of leeches
And
and
throw
throw
it
in your
on
body,
you,
and that's how they drain it. It's not
Take it
just
out.
it's not just like pierce your
Or
skin.
maybe you
and
have a
then blood
headache,
flows
they
down.
just
No,
fucking
yeah.
lobotomize.
They employ
Oh, yeah, they just-
leeches.
Like drill a fucking
Holy
hole in your head.
Carve
Like,
like
if you have
chunk-
a bad
carve
Yeah.
chunks of your brain down and put it in like.
They don't actually drill. They actually just go through your eye, like
No, they.
between your eyeball, and
Yeah.
Like,
come
sockets is
back,
like a hole in
come
your
back
brain.
next week.
What
doctor,
exactly
like,
is
I
it
can't
done?
see,
Like-
doctor.
Why or what?
No, what happened? What is done?
It removes a section of your brain.
Yeah. The
Oh, so
frontal
you can like
section,
pick it
frontal lobe.
out. Oh, you probably like.
They basically, yeah, they're basically. They pick it out, they cut it out, whatever. It's just, it's just like they just damage a section of your
Knife.
brain.
You know
and
how
it's like,
soft the brain
it's
tissue
like an
is?
emotional
It's
center.
fat, right?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
It's like an,
like-
it's like an emotional center.
Well, isn't
Once
brain
it's
mostly
out,
made
you're
from
kind of just
fat?
unemotional.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fat
You
content,
know,
but it's not.
if you're
The cells,
unemotional, if you can't have emotion,
myelin
then you
cells-
can't have bad emotion.
the neurons are lined with like a layer of like insulation.
Oh, I can see why that would be a challenging spot. Wow.
Sometimes, sometimes they fix the issue. Sometimes
They
you
never
end
fix
up,
the
like,
issue. Lobotomy
crawling
never fixes the
for
issue,
the rest
man.
of your life.
If you call they're fixing the issue by removing your entire personality, then
Yeah. I mean, it makes you
was
just have no emotions. You're kind of just a shell.
Yeah.
they fix bipolar by removing your entire personality.
So you just
Well,
stop
yeah,
it
they removed the bipolar, didn't they?
Yeah, but along with everything else, that
Yeah,
makes who you
Shit,
are.
when did it become like illegal? Like in various
Six-
Probably when they
60s.
found out that
Pretty
doesn't help
quickly.
Yeah,
shit.
60s, 70s. Like it wasn't around for very long.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Clearly, I mean, for good reason.
Yeah,
It's weird that he got passed in the first place.
but there are some methods that are quite
Maybe,
effective
yeah,
though.
scientists.
If you have epilepsy, they cut like a thing
Fuck.
that it actually treats it pretty well.
What do they
So
cut?
they split.
Like
the
they
brain.
cut the connection between the left and right lobe.
Oh really? Do you
Oh,
split brain?
Does it have any drawbacks?
Yeah.
Not really,
When your left
rarely.
brain can't communicate to your right brain, everything's out.
No, not
Can you
really.
walk properly?
No, I think
you
your
can, you
physicals would be there, like your, but your.
Yeah. So what's the deal? What's the issue? Sure. No. It's not a complete server.
Yeah, complete server.
What?
So you got your two sides are operating independently.
Yeah, it does that normally anyway.
No,
It
not
must
at
be,
all,
yeah.
dude. If you split your brain, because half of your brain can only see stuff and
Like-
can't speak, isn't the voice in your head.
Oh yeah,
But
sometimes.
the other part
oh, yeah,
is if you like.
the side effect is sometimes like you read words and sometimes you can't and hear sound, like it's kind of confuses you a bit. That's what
No, I think the drawback is like you're a lot more alien than you were
No?
before.
Well, look, none of us
You'd
are
be very
none of
strange.
us are brain surgeons, so
I don't know.
Yeah.
pure speculation at this stage.
I learned it in
Cut
psychology.
this part
class.
on podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe just give just
No,
the
I,
audience.
like if Jamie was here, I just asked Jamie to bring it up because I'm
Citation.
pretty
Alright,
sure.
Citation.
I'll be the Jamie for
Yeah,
or
who's
anyone.
Jamie?
Can anyone be Jamie?
Be the
Like,
Jamie.
Who's Jamie?
The pod.
the fact
Joe
checker.
Rogan.
Fact, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even sometimes Joe just ignore like the Jamie completely.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like it's Jamie's job. You're just flipping around. It's just like, alright.
But sometimes he doesn't even find the stuff. A lot of the time.
Because he can just chill too. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't have to bring anything up.
Yeah.
He can just chill too.
He just all he does is watch the podcast
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. Do you know that he was like addicted to PUBG? Apparently, yeah, Jamie. It's like on the record that like, and I was like, oh,
Fitting.
yeah, well, yeah, true. Fuck that studio must be incredible. Okay, so I want to verify if, because in my understanding is that if you split the brain,
Well, my phone is recording, so I want to check.
you end up just justifying shit that that
I think it's
It's
called
very
the
far from
corpus
reality.
callosum or something. Corpus callosum. Because most of the time you use your left.
Colossal syndrome, split brain, is the type of disconnect syndrome.
if you completely sever the brain, I don't think that would be
Focus
in any
sclerosum
way
connections.
okay. Like I really don't think that.
I mean, you have
Well, let's
you-
say if
negative implications. for
someone with
pictures.
this syndrome, can they even function?
yeah, they function.
Like it's not. I know that they live to a degree because that's done and people can study them, and so they lead some resemblance of life.
Mm. I mean,
But
I don't think the corpus callosum is that big of a deal. But
do you
the
sever
frontal.
the whole? Do you entirely sever the brain? Because
Wait,
if
wait,
you
wait.
do, there's just no way
When
that
one
it produces.
split brain patient dressed himself, he sometimes pull his pants out with one hand. That side of his brain want to get dressed and down with the other hand.
Yeah, yeah.
What the
Yeah, that's the some that side
It's
effect.
like, oh, I don't know, but
Yeah, because you
fight
become
each other.
and one of them, because one of them can see stuff, but isn't the voice in your head.
But it's-
When you sever it, this one can't talk to the
Yeah.
other one, but this one's the one that sees stuff. So like, if you ever have a split brain and you like split their eyesight and you give one eye.
No. The visual is processed by one side of the brain.
Yeah,
Only.
Yeah, it is exactly. And
So
if it
it's
can't
the under-
communicate to the other part.
The understanding and the seeing is different.
Yeah.
So the processing and the actual like you know interpreting stuff is.
So you're
that-
saying there's two departments that one of them oversees like visual intakes, the other one
Yeah.
oversees like cognitive processing.
Yes,
and
yes,
you're
yes.
saying like no
Very
communications
interesting,
between them
syndrome.
would be in any way acceptable, like as a procedure to do. That would
be a
blow
No,
my
that's
mind.
That'd be a
I
hard
mean
life to
it's
live.
done on the same lobe. That too.
What do you mean?
It's done in the same lobe. The visual stuff, like the processing and the.
What's
The intake is done by the back of your brain, and then the
Yeah.
processing is done by, I don't know, I forgot the left or the right side. But the back of there's a part of the brain where it just process visual input only,
Yeah.
and like
So
you
it's shared
can
by both.
you can damage it by if you get a really big concussion in the back, and then you lose vision for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the personality part is the frontal lobe.
Yeah, I understand the
Yeah.
personality. That's like more of a latitude thing. It's not a.
It's both.
It's not a longitude
It's
thing.
both.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
both
yeah.
frontal lobes.
But there are aspects to the brain
Yes.
that it is only done by one side.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So you can function relatively normally because you have
My
to
best description can only be like it resembles life.
you have to consider that epilepsy can be pretty severe, and that like that was choosing what's the worst option,
Yeah.
or like better like the
Yeah.
lesser of two evils. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, your personality entirely changes, right? I'm pretty sure.
No, your personality mostly intact because
Because
it's determined by the frontal lobe mostly, and
Well,
that's
severing a connection path.
it's just like
Of
sometimes.
because look, at the end of the day, right? It's the meaty link between the two side brains is not the only link.
Yeah, it's not the
you
only
have your
link.
entire body, which is actually a link also.
Yeah.
yeah, true. In some way.
But like every thing you do is controlled by the
Both.
brain.
Yeah.
There's the like the monkey part and then like the human part. The monkey part of the brain is back in the back near the spine.
What's the monkey part made of?
I don't know, just
Banana.
like unconscious functions, like your entire function that you don't even know is going on.
Man, this is like not car conversation.
Yeah. This is definitely not a.
We talk car for like 15 minutes and then random crap for like the rest.
This is why we do like 4 hours of just like hanging out, and you know.
So we get like.
You only get about an hour of content.
So anyway, I think that concludes
At this point, it might be worse than like we might have to sit for longer to get an hour out.
But like we should.
Yeah, just dragging it out.
Well, hey, there's plenty of Hotpot. That's on
Nice.
top. That's on
So-
topic.
So we end the podcast with the Hotpot's finished basically.
It's not finished.
We're still
It's
digesting.
definitely it's not finished.
Yeah.
There's more
Yeah.
Hotpot.
Well, we finish. We're dead. Can't eat anymore.
Yeah, Hotpot's not finished. We finished.
Well, just digest.
Yeah.
Drink some Coke.
So when you split the brain, so here's what I was trying to get at. I
Yeah.
don't know what your position was entirely, but here's just my position. Right, it
Yeah.
might not even be against yours. So split brain patients showed this through constant attempts to rationalize behavior with made up logic. So one of them is rational, one of them is like emotional, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, right.
when you do something like when an amusing picture is shown to the right hemisphere, the patient laughs. And the researcher asks, "Can you describe why you were laughing just now?" The patient responds, "Because you're funny." Completely unaware that it's just seen a funny picture on the other side.
Yeah, I guess.
Completely unaware. So that was my point. That was
Okay,
my
yeah,
point.
maybe, yeah, I guess, I get your point now.
Yeah.
Like you don't process things like normal people.
Yeah.
I want to experience that, but temporarily.
Take me back. Go on.
All right.
You're holding on.
Control
to
Z, Control Z.
Yeah.
Invent a tape that just glues that together again.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. You're
Holy
just like,
shit.
okay.
Holy shit.
Let me fix it up real quick.
Undo.
Yeah, when they first like talked about the study, I just blew my
Yeah,
fucking
that's
mind.
pretty...
And that's when I started noticing like Dan's over justifying. You know how through a phase of my life I just had this roommate that was like he would justify everything. He's so rational, but he would justify everything because rationality has taken king spot. And like when I first heard of this story, I'm like, man, that's kind of like Dan. Like,
What, you reckon his brain is severed?
No. But like the idea that justification of something using logic is like it's a separate part. It's clearly showing that it's a separate part, right? One of them is fucking more emotional, the other one's rational logic. So it's the first emotions first, and then logic and justification. So then everything becomes logic and like justification, at least you know if you try. But mostly the genesis is the emotional part.
Yeah.
So
The illogical, like
the justification is everything. It's like why did you make say 97% of your daily decisions? It's not because you chose. Actually, 97% is like because you just made them, just by unbiased.
you know, just to ease. I think I read a book about it. It's just you like make it more efficient throughout your day if you don't think about certain tasks you do. It's like automated task, like you do things by habit
Yep, 100%.
to save mental energy.
Yeah, try to think of every single move, like picking that food up
Yeah,
to your mouth.
You definitely gotta think about this for sure.
Yeah. Otherwise, you take so much like brain mental energy.
Yeah. Brain energy.
Mental
Yeah,
energy.
that's why you need to eat those like hippie fruit bars or something that always say like gives you like fucking brain power. I don't know.
Alright, you just insulted another group of people.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. This is not a.
I don't know how like because I used to hang out with these like tech people that are like super left. I just describe it as super left. I really don't know if like I hung out with them again, like how they would see everything. 'Cause they're so edgy, man. They're
why
just
did you
as
say-
edgy as
Oh, everything have to be unique and
everything.
they have to do everything different.
They
Yeah.
try so hard and like
I
they're just
see.
completely unwilling to recognize the bizarreness of the situation. And I'm like, okay, well.
Are they vegan?
Well, it's mostly dominated. I think it's in my experience, mostly dominated by. Well, first of all, there are girls who want to like get ahead, right? In general, just like, all right, well, I'm also miserable and like needing validation, so I'm gonna hang out with these guys, and if I tell them like something that I want, if they do it, then I'll be perfectly validated. And you just see all the guys, they just trip themselves over and falling for the chicks in tech because it's fucking tech. Like all of the early days of programming, the people who made the web are all just nerds, right? So when the girls came in, they're all just like, okay, all right, we'll do whatever you say. Look, we'll do whatever you say. All right, what is it? What is it? Male feminism? Okay, no problem.
Okay. I get what you mean now.
Yeah. So entirely, that's
But now it's just like a epidemic.
yeah, it's everywhere. It's mainstream now, which is fucking weird.
It's like COVID got mainstream.
When did you guys first notice like COVID?
I heard
Early
about
on,
COVID,
my mom
like,
told me like
February.
Jan or something.
Early February, I heard
Yeah,
about
it
it.
was like Jan.
Jan,
yeah.
early bird.
Actually, in Thailand, people started wearing masks like the day it was announced.
Yeah. Very.
Oh, imagine seeing that. No, I can't imagine.
Asia did.
That would
Yeah.
never happen in Australia.
Yeah,
like,
now
in Australia,
you
one
need
day,
people,
no warning,
like, die
just
first.
announces something, like no warning. No. Most Australians were not going to do anything.
they're not
We
gonna
need
do
at
shit.
least like 6 months warning before we do it.
You need someone to start like
Yeah.
people start to die.
Yeah. Yeah, COVID was kind of interesting to see, for sure.
Australia got it quite early as well, so
Yeah, but then we had a pause and then a big spike.
and a pause, a drop, and a spike again
Yeah.
somewhere else.
No, it's still present, man. Isn't it incredible that it's still here?
Dude, like, you know, what's
Holy shit.
what's the most ridiculous thing is that the
should be
number
wearing-
of cases is very correlated to the number of tests. And the countries that don't do tests don't have
like
a lot
India,
of cases.
at first, I think that's why they're a bit laggy.
And then they're
behind.
bagging about like the low number of cases.
And now
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
millions.
Well, I think it seems like the strategy of like herd immunity isn't like completely trash. Like,
Worked
it
in
has some merit.
what country is that?
Sweden.
Sweden,
Sweden or
yeah.
whatever, yeah.
China tours or something.
Yeah, at least it tells us.
That was
it's
high
like,
as
oh,
fuck, so I
some
didn't
people-
remember.
Yeah.
I just remember you guys talking about it.
Yeah. That was pretty interesting. Like Kendrick thought Nina was like Tina was like really edgy at first because he was like, oh yeah, shit. Apparently his impression of her was like she's this like ultra like, oh yeah, Sweden's doing very nicely. You know, it's sort of like he
Might be.
I guess Europe centrist, if you will.
Yeah.
She's definitely.
And then I was like, no, I think you misunderstand
Yeah.
because that's very far from Tina.
Yeah, I think that's why she's here, man.
Yeah, dude. She's fucking sarcastic. Jeez.
So, question. On the podcast that you can't recording, what are you doing about this copyrighted music in the background?
Oh shit! Hey, this is like
Well, it's from YouTube.
YouTube, right? Like I do
It's
that.
still copyrighted.
Lo-fi or whatever,
Lo-fi
study
hip-hop.
music.
Yeah. And they can play it as much
Hey,
as they
man,
want
like-
on their own channel.
If there's like 2 or 3 views, I don't care, man. Like nobody's gonna watch this shit.
Alright.
Well, we can do some editing. Post.
How do we edit out of sound, man? Like,
Add a louder soundtrack.
It's like you barely
Don't
even hear
worry,
us.
we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post as everything
add
else.
some Beethoven.
Oh, jeez.
I'll fix it by doing jack shit.
Oh yeah, put Beethoven. So you can't copyright something written like 200 years ago.
Really?
Well, can you?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't, right?
Alright, so we can release our podcast 200 years later.
Wow, dated.
Delayed release.
No, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Put it
Beethoven.
on like some sort
Back
of
then, there
blockchain
was-
time
No, we just-
and make sure that it goes off 200 years from now. Because you can. You can actually ensure, like, if you believe blockchain will be here 200, like, you can embed a piece of logic. It'll still be there. Alright, 200 years later.
Dude, how like can you imagine like the tech world 200 years from now, man? Like even like 50 years from now, you can't imagine
Fucking
it.
overlords,
Tech
dude.
world.
Yeah,
No, I think art's gonna make its comeback.
art.
Yeah, against the tech. Because I think consumerism and tech and rationality has swung so far to one side.
Yeah.
I think it's almost like a revenge.
But evolution's linear.
But art nowadays has
like
How do you define
evolution is linear though.
Yeah.
But human societies have always evolved like
In cycles.
you know, it always in cycles. Like
Yeah.
human civilizations has never like shown any signs of swinging
Yeah,
Definitely-
we saw
or
definitely.
cyclic.
Definitely
yeah, some-
fashion is a cycle.
Yeah.
For
Even
sure.
economy-
Now that's fashion.
Economy is a cycle,
Yeah.
but nowadays like not anymore. With the
To be fair, it's kind
modern monetary theory and stuff.
Whatever. Man.
No, I really got into like the past civilization stuff, right? Because now I'm very convinced that
Yeah.
like the human
Because
societies
the-
were way more like not a little bit more advanced than we thought, but like way.
Yeah, after one Graham Hancock podcast, you're like,
and then like many more, and
Yeah.
then now I'm like, okay, I understand you now.
yes.
Because it's the potential is because you begin realizing all of the things that they built, it was all simple, and to them it just meant different things that, in a way
No,
that
we,
you can't.
the way we interpret things as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. So
we
like
don't know-
technologically advanced is a relative term, and then you get to these guys and it's like, well, relatively these guys like utilization of these technologies.
Like maybe we can't even comprehend what the technology that we're using.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just lost. It could just be
Yeah.
lost.
Those things
Yeah.
magic
Yeah,
that's
and
finished.
some of the things that like they think is that's important and that they left, we don't even understand them. So
Yeah.
it's really like a message that they left for us,
Maybe.
and we have no way
We
to
have no-
interpret it at the moment.
Yeah.
because we're like, not sure.
It's like
What
a
do you mean?
caveman looking at a laptop. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Like how would you?
Dead laptop, right? No,
Dead laptop,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a.
No, these guys really built like fucking like almost like morality right into physical manifestation. Like all of the symbol that exists that
Yeah,
guards
like-
their civilization.
That's the reason why the ancient Egyptians use physical symbols, of
Yeah.
pictures of things to represent
Emoji.
as
Yeah,
language.
Emojis fucking would be awesome.
As language, because that's like the most readily easily
Yeah.
understood.
Conveyed feeling, really, yeah.
Because
Understood,
like
yeah.
lines, random lines, sometimes you can even figure it out, you know.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So we don't know what they said. So we don't know what kind of like message they would have left us.
Yeah, but we interpret it in different ways. Like
Yeah.
the Egyptians that inherited from the ancient Egyptians are
Right,
a different
right.
civilization.
Well,
And
do you think do you think?
I think that's what I think, because like that's not like contemporary or academic understanding of it. Like academically, it's like the ancient Egyptians are one civilization,
Yeah.
and that they built the pyramids, the Great Pyramids.
Yeah, and
But,
then they
like,
just whatever. Yeah.
and then they disappeared. And they use apparently they use freaking copper shit to cut like 2 million blocks of stone within like 100 years. Whatever, you know.
Jeez, that's pretty insane. I don't think
Power.
that would be the. Yeah, honestly, that world's pretty weird. It's described by like
Yeah.
Hancock and like just the people. Remember how he debated someone once? Like Graham Hancock is like some. I guess he's considered alternative.
Very
Well, he's
important.
considered pseudo archaeology.
Yeah.
So it's like it's already weird. And one day he like debated one of these like mainstream academics like live on Joe Rogan with Joe Rogan moderating. They just called somebody up on Skype. They had a debate, and this academic guy just looked silly, man. Holy fuck! You can see he's just holding on to the bitter stuff
Yeah.
that he doesn't want to let go. But he's also always trying to say how fair he is. Well, yeah, that's.
So he's usually like basically he's a crackpot.
Yeah, quackpot is that what they call it?
Yeah.
When
So
when
I
you're
definitely the mainstream doesn't.
when you're reasoning defy logic, like evidence-based logic, then like what do you have to stand on?
Right? You have mushrooms, bro.
Alright, no.
Mushrooms, LSD, ayahuasca, DMT. That's what you have to stand on.
Well, I don't know. Maybe for academic purposes,
Yeah.
quotation marks.
No, you can't be too creative as an academic, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be right. The environment's also gotta be right for you.
Dude, like if I take it, like nobody will take me seriously ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just can't. I don't think I'll be able to convince myself to go do it, but I can't stop fantasizing like having a doctorate degree, and I'm like, I just feel.
Imagine your surgeon like openly saying that he took DMT and ayahuasca and stuff.
Yeah.
Before you cut your head off.
Like, bro, I'm on LSD right now. And then you perform surgery on you.
Yeah. And it's like, well,
You
physical stuff I would pass. I would genuinely say that I'm not ready to become, integrated in the world in some physical way. But hey, like, if you're just sitting there talking to people, it's
Yeah.
like if you're a psychologist and you just get high every time you talk to your patient. Every time you see them,
And then
you're
you
just like
overcharge
high
them.
on mushrooms, and you're like, and you tell them all about this wonderful world that you're seeing.
Therapeutics.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Can I have some?" And you're like, "Okay." And maybe they fixed like straight away. You don't know.
Yeah.
The problem solved. Like genuinely.
Dude, I feel like like those super uptight people could take some weed and LSD.
Mushies for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But weed to start with.
Yeah.
Just
Like the
take
super
your edge
uptight
off.
Karens,
Yeah, dude, your fucking neighbor should just smoke weed. Man,
Yeah,
maybe that's
honestly.
what I should do. I should like leave him a little pouch of like weed like in his front door and just be like, "Hey man,
Nah, you should
No.
You should lace their food.
dude with
Dude,
LSD."
no, put
That's
like a
how
pack,
it.
put like a pack of
you guys are
cigarettes.
just like straight on the malicious side of
Not
even finished. Like,
You don't even have to.
Just make some brownies, put it in the front door.
So
Free brownies.
actual outcome if Tony leaves weed at the front door of the old guy.
Yeah.
Old guy calls police on pee-pee.
No, no, just put
That's-
brownies, free brownies.
worst timeline.
Yeah.
Well, you just say
You
don't
move
know.
into,
Or
you know,
say you don't
like-
know. I wouldn't even involve you in the operation
yeah.
to protect. Like, it's like I would just like in the middle of the night.
Like,
you're
but he
probably
knows that
asleep.
you're my friend.
Well, he
I have
wouldn't
to-
know it's me.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Could be anyone.
I'm not gonna be like Wear a
so you're not
clown
gonna-
suit
you're not
with a
gonna leave-
microphone.
you're not gonna
in the
leave
middle
like a
of the night
note?
just going, oh.
So you're not gonna leave like a
I'm
note
gonna
that's just
leave a
like,
note.
yo, chill.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave a note.
Free
And that
body.
just says
That's
like,
right.
Says, yo, chill.
you seem a bit like stressed lately. Here's something. Like I would
Can I
just
have
go
a parking
like,
spot?
hey man, you don't know.
That's what I would
Maybe-
say.
We're not saying PB's gonna go to jail, right? But he is gonna get trouble. He is gonna get contacted by the cops.
I think
Yeah,
probably
sure.
2-year probation, man, and definitely deported.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely
you have,
deported.
Like,
Wait, why would
Well,
you get probation?
Once you get PR, then
you have like
redo it.
resident. Sorry.
Oh, you
choice
probably
visa.
move out by then.
Yeah.
I hate that for sure. Like to have to be on some sort of like, it's like what you suspect me more.
Yeah, like you have to report to your probation officer every like 2 weeks or something. Or
Well, the
every
thing is,
week.
they will question you, but they're not gonna do anything to you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
All right,
the,
Winnie, do it.
the intimidation of it.
It's just having to go through that process
yeah.
of clearing, of getting
Yeah.
knocked on the door by like some
Yeah.
fucking dickhead cops and going, yeah, no, it wasn't me.
Very emotionally involved.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
It's like a hassle.
I hate cops, man.
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Fucking hate cops, for real. Like, you have to be a particular kind of asshole to want to be
Be
like,
one.
I want to be a cop.
Yeah. That like, because this.
But usually, if their dad's cops, then kind of like pass along the line.
Like the family.
Well, if their dad's an asshole, they're also an asshole. Like, that's pretty.
You're like,
it's correct.
my motto accommodates for this.
Yeah, it's correct.
Yes, it's correct. Yeah.
That is
Yes.
correct.
Jeez. Yeah, I think having I've heard like some of the stories or the life of cops, like really they're generally abusive, like physically, and it's like, oh okay,
Power tripping.
yeah, at home and they like have it really rough, and I'm like, okay, why isn't this like, I guess common knowledge? You know, like. And like when George Floyd happens, everyone's like losing their shit. It's like, oh, how could it be? How could it be that this existed? And it's like,
Dude, like
what?
George Floyd happened
Haven't you
before.
turned around and
Dude, the George Floyd thing happened before.
So many.
Michael
Have you
Michael
been to
Brown.
America before?
yeah, have
Yeah.
you looked around? Like, and the thing is, most of us don't even deal with police, so we don't even know what they're like.
Like,
But like,
but why did the
Most
George
people
Floyd
that,
thing
like,
blow up so
type in
hard?
the keyboard, they don't need
Right,
police.
whereas like other
Yeah.
incidents don't blow up as hard.
Usually,
even though they're worse.
Lower.
even though,
Yeah.
I guess like it's a tipping point thing. It's not like a dick measuring. It's like, dude, my catastrophe was worse than that. But I guess like once it topples, it's like, especially with COVID, it's got a lot of momentum. It's like, crash the whole card. I like the resets that we're getting. I think it's like, it's not too bad. It doesn't like completely crush us. Because you can imagine like if we were in say 08 and you're like,
Dude,
25,
the
like,
08
say
thing,
it
no
looked-
one saw coming though. Like, it was,
yeah.
Well,
Well,
some
that
people
might
saw
just
coming.
Some people, yeah.
Some people, very rich
Made
people,
a
very
lot of
rich
money
now.
out of it.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my god.
We're talking
I
financial.
always.
But like the
Yeah.
thing, the
Yeah.
thing that started, the thing that caused 08 started in 06. It was a slow burn over 2 years.
Yeah. Well, so, like sometimes you just get hit, right?
And then
Just like if you
that's
were
just one thing.
over-leveraged.
That's just one thing that just causes like the dominoes to topple.
Right
Basically.
at the top. Yeah. But I think holding stables is still.
I want to get out of my USDC though, because I think USD going down soon.
Oh yeah.
Once the repercussions of COVID
Jeez.
hits,
Yeah.
and one, okay, basically, big secret folder in the White House of everything that's fucked up by Trump, right? Right now it's all just hidden in this big folder. Nobody knows. As soon as Biden opens this folder, US crashes.
Fuck. Like, that is a very.
You know,
convincing narrative.
like it'll be things like things in the folder will be like, oh yeah, Joe Rogan died of COVID back in September.
Yeah,
and the whole time after that, it's always just been like
Yeah.
Pre-recorded.
just AI or
Pre-recorded,
pre-recorded
yeah,
AI.
yeah.
It's gonna be a bunch of shit like
Wow,
that
dude.
where things
UFOs, 100%,
where-
dude, they're gonna come out.
No, like
UFOs.
they're gonna realize
Yeah.
literally the country's already crumbling, right?
Yeah.
It's just that the information is not out there yet. Hence, the stock market, all
Yeah,
the
that's
economies
alpha.
have not reflected yet. As soon as they open that folder,
Yeah.
as soon as they open that folder and make that known, just USD is just pancake.
Wow.
Do you
That
think
is,
when
that I honestly believe this. That's what that like maybe not in those specific terms, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Biden, the Liberal Party, is gonna unearth a lot of hidden skeletons from the Republicans from the past 4 years. Like you think Trump's not hiding anything?
Yeah.
Right?
No fucking way, dude. Dude,
You think there's not a-
so many things on the table now.
You think there's not like already a financial
Yeah.
giant black hole the
I
size
want to
of the
hear what's
sun
behind
somewhere?
COVID too, like because they must have their own. There's an actual reality behind COVID.
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah.
Obviously.
You know the actual death rate? Oh yeah, it's like 10 times what
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you think it is. You know all the bodies? Yeah, we kind of just recycle them into pet food.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to, we're out
Because
of
there
real
was so
estate.
much of it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We just ran out of real estate, so we just recycle them into creatine and like gym supplements.
That's always fascinating. Like, fuck, that's terrible.
You know that creatine, that protein powder you be eating? Oh yeah,
Jesus.
that's
Dead
COVID
body.
victims.
Yeah, you're just, you know the cocaine that you've been doing lines on the stripper's table? Yeah, those are just ashes.
just COVID ashes, sorry. You know your fresh fruit and veggie you be eating from the organic section? Oh yeah, they fertilize with human remains. It's you know.
Hey, it's
all
probably
these-
a good
all these
fertilizer.
Fish balls.
Oh yeah, fish balls? No, only about 20% fish.
Jesus.
Yum.
Yum.
Anything's possible. I reckon if it was like, alright, they've been secretly working with the alien race. Like, they have a deal that's like, because, you know, these guys come and check every once in a while, because it seems that way.
It's like, from
What
time
the
to
fuck
time
is
we have to
going
co-
on, right? They have to
Yeah.
come check, like,
From time to
like,
time we have to control the human population. And
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
here's the vial of the secret thing
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you maybe tested out on some people.
Yeah.
just dump it in some bat soup and then
Some men in black shit occurs.
Fuck. Yeah, I really wonder what form it's like. You know how some, like Men in Black, Rick and Morty depicts aliens as sometimes like bugs, like insects. It's like, huh, what if that's the
So
case?
when do you think like the market
Just
would actually
cockroaches in G-Wagons?
correct to a place where it actually had like need to be when
If for me, I would try
Next
and get
year?
out by January. I would get out of USD by January, just to be on the safe side. Because the thing is, if you're early by a couple of months, if you're
Well, not
early by
just-
6
not
months,
just
that's
USD,
fine.
like-
If you're late by 1 day, you're fucked.
USD is actually pretty low at the moment.
It's starting.
Yeah, it's starting.
It's begun.
I mean, I'm happy that I sold out my USD stuff. Pretty happy.
I would just get out by January. You know, literally, like I say, if you're early by 6 months, that's okay. If you're late by a day, you're gone. Gone.
Alright.
It's very comprehensive.
Might take my fun out.
Yeah, it's like there is a
Probably
speculation
the
side, but
ETFs
also I was going to
indexes.
state the relationship between.
I'm going to say exactly why
Yeah.
this is.
Individual
So-
stocks, maybe not. Maybe leave it for a
I'm
bit.
taking the fun out.
Take the funds, yeah, the index funds, definitely.
I've got 17.5k USDC. I need to Uniswap.
Well, the interesting question is, do you trust the chain enough that you would switch to, or actually specific protocols now we're talking? Because you can switch it to other currencies on the chain,
Oh, man,
but
like
if
the Fed is
but
like
if there's a chance that the whole chain fails,
getting solid now.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like
The
or
freaking
protocol
mine is
fails,
solid.
whatever protocol you choose.
How?
Alright, you do the dishes
much
this time,
of
man.
effect would a
I'll bring this thing
USD
in home.
destruction affect
Unknown.
on?
Never been
Maybe
tested.
I'll leave these balls at Tony's place.
Never been tested. USDC is always pegged at $1
But he's
in
gonna
some
come
ways.
along with us
So
to the.
there are, you can tell there are some hard limits
He's
set.
coming along to the.
I'm not saying it impacts
camping,
it
yeah.
in some way. I'm just saying you can tell there are hard relationships set. So one of these wires, that's how I describe it anyway. It's like a massive web. You just tweak it a little bit down here, well, you don't know. You don't know if I tweak a few and then the whole thing comes to an end real quick. Because if you don't believe the chain, then you have to offload it off the chain to like fiat or something.
Maybe now's a good time to buy pickle.
No, pickle was, dude. Okay, so in crypto, there's no such thing as insider trading, right? It's just funny money. Kendrick was like, well, Little Bear tells us that we're gonna, you know, do a merge, and then I'm like, okay. And then I bought like 2.8, and Luke is like, oh, by the way, if you want to put 5k in, I'm okay with that too. I'm like, oh, okay, you wanted to do this
Big
too?
pickle.
Yeah.
This is post hack.
No, pre.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, post. Yeah, post.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
was like before the merger, and it's like, all right, 7 8k. We just sat on it for a couple of days, and on the third day, the news got announced. Took a shower, came back, made like 7k. It just sold everything like 7k USD. Yeah, well,
Why was
the
this
time,
not told
the time,
me?
It's to the chat, hey. The
Oh,
time
shit.
to buy pickle is not now. I don't know.
Maybe not now.
Yeah,
But yeah, what you did was kind of my idea, I guess. That's what I was kind of getting at.
But I think whether or not what happens when US falls is so unprecedented that you're just like.
Maybe we should end the podcast with this topic. Like, what would happen if the U.S. collapses? They lose their ranking.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon will happen? What's a few of the aspects?
For me, I'm not sure. Like, there's a few scenarios. Like, one, like China would take over.
Soon, eventually.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I don't think the West as a collective would ever accept.
They wouldn't
China.
accept it right away, but like.
I think they would rather elect someone else in the West.
Yeah, but China and Russia will force themselves to become like.
No. Like, I don't think you can bully in 21st century with this many countries.
I don't know. Like,
Like-
China's using their
Well, I mean, the
their
US is not
diplomacy
going to fall.
Yeah, that's
but,
true too.
But China's been using like their
Yeah.
trap diplomacy to like get control of a lot of things.
But if you don't have anything to control, then it doesn't matter. Like if you're
What you have enough? They have control like a lot of African nations, a lot of like the.
But they have something to offer.
But if they don't have an integration into the Western
Yeah,
world, if
yeah.
the West decides to collectively
Like
stop,
look at even Germany nowadays. Like they're so connected to China. Like
Yeah.
so all the companies are so like co-invested and stuff. You know, like
Yeah,
they're
but
very-
like the West as we know it, right, which consists of basically Australia, America, Canada, UK.
we get bats.
that's the English nations.
Yeah, exactly. Basically the
Okay,
English
Commonwealth
nations, right?
speaking.
Commonwealth, right?
Yeah.
Commonwealth and ex-Commonwealth. As far as our little area of that's
Yeah, they
concerned,
wouldn't accept that very easily. No.
Look, I don't even know if within like the near future, the medium future, if we're gonna get if we're gonna get affected by anything Chinese, America's not gonna fall that suddenly.
Yeah.
No, like dude,
It's
like
still like the center ground for all Western.
They're gonna
City
fake
infrastructure
it.
too.
Fake
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
Yeah, morality.
Like there's no way that
and-
just literally just
But, like,
explodes unless you literally
it
explode
takes a generation
Yeah.
to like build the skills, and the Americans have lost a lot of the skilled labor.
You're talking about the economy.
The economy is very tied to like the country itself, the performance of the country, right?
It's not sure that it's not as that bad as that.
Well, yeah, it's still gonna take some time, I guess.
Like,
Like-
have you
like-
heard,
like-
heard of Silicon Valley?
I know, but like China's also like catching up with the tech world.
Oh, for sure. But
Yes,
I'm saying
definitely.
just because
The
China
East will be
catches up.
The East will have an East, and the West will have a West.
Yeah. Just because China
So you're
China
saying
catches up
we're
doesn't mean
gonna-
the US is just gonna fall down.
Yeah.
Would
The
diverge?
East used to be Russia. Now it's not Russia anymore. It's
Be
just
China.
So, but there's always an East and there's always a West.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
Like
For at
because-
least quite some time. And I'm sure when more information comes to light, it's like, you know,
Look, the only reason why we kind of think America's going down is probably because they had Trump for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
It
I
probably
would-
weakened America a lot.
I
but,
think
but Trump's not there anymore. You know, you can't rely on America continuously falling anymore at this stage. It's kind of unknown.
like I don't think that
Yeah.
it was that
I don't think
point that
But then,
Trump
the
was
thing that you said that the market gonna crash and all that, then kind of
Because-
contradict what you said.
No, the US dollar's going to go down.
That's just the.
Doesn't mean the country's
the-
going to go down.
all right. I have one.
yeah. No, you go easy, man.
I don't know.
Like
Still newbie.
forex trading is one thing.
That's
the
yeah.
global power of a nation.
It's still there.
is something completely different.
That's just short term and long term.
Like I mean,
Yeah.
if you
There are
if you
too
talk-
many
if you-
aspects to count.
If you look at it, right, what's the CNY? What's the Chinese dollar worth? Nothing. But hey, they're still pretty fucking powerful, right? So it's that way.
The US.
Just because USD going down doesn't mean that their country won't be powerful anymore.
No.
In fact, they'll just attract more foreign
Really,
investment.
that's the currency is what because the USD is the reserve currency. Every nation.
Yeah, I think
holds
they
the
might
USD.
lose it in the next few years.
That's
There's a possibility.
one of the big things that they use to control like trade and stuff.
in like a decade or two, maybe.
Yeah. But this is the start of the downfall, really. I think.
Yeah.
Potentially, if there was going to be a downfall, this looks like it could be the start,
Yeah.
right? But you don't know it's going to be a
People
downfall.
are losing trust in the USD.
Sure.
And
There
then-
are many reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that could easily turn around in a decade.
It could turn around or it could not.
Like, I'm not particularly
like
I'm not,
we're not really
pro-US or
sure,
anything,
but like we
like,
just have theories, right? We just have our views of what's maybe happening.
Yeah, but like I'm not pro-US or anything, but it's like
US
all
are pretty
these
tough.
all these Americans. Do you think they're just gonna accept the downfall? No, they're gonna fight for it.
Yeah.
Whether it's the public voting and politicians voting in legislature to increase education, increase technology, investment, whatever, they're not going to take it lying down. They're not going to be like, oh, we're starting to go downhill.
Yeah.
Let's just go downhill.
And they pull it off every time too. It's like, no one would think the bailout was like possible. But it's like, they just kept, nobody would have thought, like, if pre-COVID you told anyone, it's like, how much money do you think the US could print without crashing the economy? The answer would fucking surprise you.
Yeah. People would say, not that much.
Yeah.
But then realistically, when you put it to test, oh shit, how many billions? How many trillions?
Oh shit.
Like, a trillion?
Yeah, their power is like not to be underestimated because they're just like, oh, what if we just save ourselves by
like 7% of the GDP?
But
yeah,
like,
it'll be here for a while, man. The US will be fine.
I don't know, man. It could be either very quick.
I'm just trying to like gather information for my
gather
my
information.
investment.
I don't think it'll be quick.
In the
Oh
future.
yeah, for your investment.
Yeah.
It's like, how should I best manage my portfolio?
Let's put it this way: it's like getting out of USD is probably about the worst thing you can do. So,
Because I don't have any USD at the moment. I just own like the fund there, the S&P 500 fund, ETF mutual fund.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that should be fine, right?
It'll be fine.
Do that long term anyway, so
Yeah, exactly.
I try not to like move in
Like
and out of it.
I'm talking about a timeline like 3-4 years. If you're in the S&P 500, leave it in there. You're not going to touch it for 3-4 years anyway.
But I think the biggest thing,
Yeah,
like,
why
that
would you
defines.
leave? I wouldn't leave the S&P 500 in there past January. That's dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, whatever you've got in the fucking...
if it's in the S&P
What
500,
the
don't,
fuck?
man. Don't touch it till you're 35 or whatever. It's
So like
fine.
either
can take it
Dow
out
Jones,
now.
Dow Jones, Nasdaq, whatever S&P, just get out of the
Or
US.
just-
Get out the entire
We'll
US.
just keep it in
thing.
forever.
Tesla especially, man. Tesla,
Cash out, dig the hole, and put your money in there.
Dude, Tesla is at a all-time high,
Yeah.
and they don't even break a million in
I
sales.
fundamentally believe one cannot analyze Tesla. I don't-
Tesla.
I straight up don't think anyone on this planet is in a same qualified way to and you know how you can be an analyst at some special stocks, and you would be wise to listen to this guy.
They say that, but
Yeah, but then for Elon, it's like,
you've read Black Swan, yeah?
no, I'm not in this book.
Yeah.
Oh shit, no, I haven't. What is it about?
It's basically about market psychology, like the market and the
Black Swan, yeah.
psychology of
Has
market.
time to be to that a bit?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've been sitting next to the music. True.
And one of the things you take away
let
from
me
it,
do it.
one of the things you take away from it is that just because it's never happened before in history doesn't mean it will never happen.
Yeah.
Right? And they analyze stock market success rates. I think we might have talked about this before.
Yeah.
So you know how obviously you can the success rate of all the analysts in the market can be normally distributed, right?
Yeah.
You got the ones in the middle that are the top one, they get it right 90% of the time or whatever, right? And then as you slowly go down, it's normally
Mostly it's in the
distributed,
middle.
right?
Yeah.
But they realize that the chances, if you just do random chance, that's exactly how it turns out.
Yeah, you beat half.
Literally, the normally distributed stock market gurus are performing no better than actually just random chance spread.
That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Well,
The amount of
I would believe
top
that.
tier
Yeah, I
analysts,
believe that.
the amount of top tier analysts are exactly how many is to be expected if you just threw a bunch of pebbles into the ground, sort of a thing.
Yeah, so it's just a normal distribution.
It's just the same normal distribution.
Yeah.
He just lucked out. He was the one that just got it right every time for X 100 times in a row.
Just kept going.
Yeah.
Luck.
He was like the one of the three or whatever.
But then you
for
put
example.
the measure of intelligence, you slap that on, it's the exact same thing. So maybe there's a correlation between.
Oh, you mean between everything that's normally distributed? Yeah, sure.
No, because the human,
What are you talking about?
Because human intelligence has a normal distribution.
Yeah.
And yes, intelligence is very much play in the market, right?
No, I mean they specifically put percentages in there.
Percentages.
The normal distribution is a general shape
Yeah.
or trend.
Yes,
It
yes,
doesn't
so-
account, but it doesn't account for individual, I guess, variables.
Yeah.
It could be like a long tail normal spread.
Yeah,
As long as
I'm-
it's a bell curve,
I'm saying
it's a
that
normal
like
distribution.
the human intelligence, normal
It's a
distribution.
normal- yeah, IQ, right? Yeah,
IQ,
yeah.
And then when you plot that out, maybe there's a correlation between
Wait,
like.
is it? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there could be.
Your problem is like, I mean,
In stock
it could be
market,
sure.
that's-
I think it
could be.
but the possible
Random
connections
as
are
fuck.
also infinite.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, actually, I actually don't know what the human intelligence distribution is. I
Oh,
didn't,
it's
normal
just normal.
distribution.
I didn't know
Yeah.
they measured that at the
IQ
stage.
is 100 in the medium, and the medium defines like
The
right,
median.
bang the middle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bang the middle, and then you
Yeah.
flat out like a normal distribution.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Maybe there is some correlation, but I don't know. That I'm not saying that's like the only thing that defines it, but there's a
I
correlation.
mean, you could say that
Market
is just
performance
random chance
and-
anyway, right? We all have like innate
There's a random chance.
amount of
out there.
intelligence.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, is it chicken or the egg? Like, does intelligence make us study harder, or does studying harder make us intelligent? You know, could be a combination.
Oh yeah,
Could be a
I think
feedback thing.
I think so because like I mean they've already shown that the IQ test wasn't concrete by because they have to
Yeah.
move it every
Yeah, it's
also,
never concrete. But like,
because you
That's new
have to
development.
move it. Yeah,
because
it's
people
like,
are getting smarter.
Yeah. And
because
it's like okay,
because with every test there's a way to study and get
yeah.
good things.
Study
for
the
it.
test. Yeah.
Study the test.
Yeah.
But there's no really good, accurate, perfect test.
They have also found that people are actually getting smarter over the centuries. That is the thing.
They
That
are
is
getting
it.
more educated, but not smarter.
more
Yeah.
intelligent.
Well, the thing they're trying
But
to describe.
I don't know why.
I would say more educated, but not necessarily more intelligent.
No,
Because
well,
the
the thing is you don't know
look
that.
at the
though.
average doofus on freaking Instagram.
Does
No,
education not convert over to some intelligence or no? Are they separate
Yeah.
quantities?
Not.
I think
teaching education is about rote knowledge, really knowledge.
No,
Like,
not
doesn't more education just translate to higher intelligence?
I don't
mean,
know,
sure.
that's
I mean,
not
that's definitely a
certainly
thing,
rote
right?
learning. Like you go to school, you actually
Yeah,
you
but
have
like-
to think.
How many people? How
memorize.
many people actually gain something out of their like gender studies or like humanities
Well,
or
that's
Oh,
just
social
that's a
tiny-
studies?
tiny minority.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
that's a lot of the education or like college
I
educated
wouldn't say it's
population.
A
I
lot
mean,
would
it's
be
not
like
more than
decent-
you expect.
I would,
It's
It's
a
not,
decent amount.
I
it's
would
not
say
more than what I
gender
expect.
studies accounts for maybe like I don't know, in the range of 0.5%.
Even
Yeah.
like liberal sciences, you know.
Yeah, like I said, maybe 1.5%. I don't
I
know.
don't know,
I'd say like 5.
You would say
something like
I
that.
would say the majority is like engineering, accounting,
business,
business
in general, something
Like
like
the
that.
professionals, yes,
Because people want to make money,
yes.
so they just learn at something that will
like
guarantee
I'm
that
saying,
they make money.
I'm-
capitalism.
Yeah,
But I'm saying
More
that like
What does that mean? What does that
he
mean?
loves
I
capitalism.
love capitalism.
yeah.
Oh, capitalism.
Mick was saying it's people studied like accounting and business and stuff because they want money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the driving
That's
force of both
driving
people.
force.
Fair.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. It's just fair enough. Honestly, like
Oh shit!
can be about video games, but turns out it's not about video games. So, because I just have to do this.
But like I'm saying,
Oh yeah, that's like, and like comedy. Oh, it's fun.
but like I'm saying like college educated people are not necessarily smart people.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is some truth in that for sure, and they have their biases. That
Mm.
you know the thing that I think is absolutely right is rationality does fall in love with itself over
Yeah.
time. Rationality is something that
You can rationalize everything.
you
Like the
just-
most illogical things you can
itself,
rationalize.
Yeah. It becomes.
You can rationalize like freaking Tesla
transcends.
going to the moon,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's logical.
Yep. Yeah, and it turns out that if you split your brain, you'd be doing that pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
You would just be like, oh, what is that? Oh, what makes sense here?
Yeah.
You guess. Yeah, so I think the academia maybe is plagued by that almost,
Mm.
like, and as you would expect from the intellectuals, right? It's like the intellect is what kind of does the rational thinking.
Yeah, you can like. Oh. What is that?
M5 2.8 evil. What the fuck?
3.8. That's a.
Oh yeah, E39, E30 something.
I don't know. 1995.
Anyway, I think we can.
E39.
I think that's
E39.
E39, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
We're just in the-
I'll end the podcast.
Most.
Oh, okay.
Then we got
How
like
long did it go?
5
Holy
minutes
shit.
of car talk.
An hour
almost 2
42.
hours.
Oh.
5 minutes of car talk. 10
Actually, like,
minutes of
maybe
food.
we should end with something about car related. You know.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
just
Yeah.
keep talking, man. Are we gonna end
Well,
now?
you don't have to end. You can
Yeah, just
literally
just
cut
leave
and
it on.
paste.
I'm just too
Are
lazy.
you out of battery?
Lazy to edit. That's why.
Plenty of battery.
Like I have to listen to 2 hours of content to make edits. I'm like, okay, never
you
mind.
still need to edit. Well, how do you think podcasts and things
Yeah.
work?
They don't
Do you think
edit.
they just record it and don't edit,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
put it out into the wild?
Yeah, they don't edit. Barely any edits, man. Like look at Joe Rogan. Just
Yeah.
like camera pan, like different cameras. They have,
But he's
like,
been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
yeah, like
You know,
I want the purpose of
he
doing a
wasn't
po-
always just a podcaster too,
The
right? He
purpose of-
was also a professional.
Fear
I know, but
factor.
He was also
Fear
a
factor, right?
professional presenter and
Yeah.
host,
Comedian.
a
Yeah, but he-
shoutcaster.
Just so you know, I would be completely happy if you don't edit it.
yeah, I probably won't
I
edit
for
it.
one would.
Like,
Well, I mean, it wouldn't bother me, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I won't edit it, man. Like the point of doing a podcast is like to save you the work of editing shit.
Yeah, true.
Just shoot the shit. and-
Lowers the barrier of
Yeah.
entry.
So
Like
for
it's
whoever, so assuming somebody
Just
did
like this house-
listen to this whole podcast,
Yeah.
and they've reached the point where they're now listening to me say this, I just want to say, haha, you've just wasted like 4 hours.
Listen to
Oh, it's more like
Wow,
an hour or something.
45.
Man.
You've
Yeah.
gained nothing.
I think
Yeah.
they've gained some minuscule
You have to make some edits.
essence of
Yeah,
information.
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
No, because I mean, like, I would be happy if you made some edits that, of the confidential stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
you need,
it's
to
all
remove, all
about,
the-
like,
you need
you
to
should-
remove a lot of crypto stuff.
Yeah, and amount of money that you said
mean-
you earned, you said you have. Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, that part I don't care. It's just my promise to other people.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
don't
is
care
there
about,
any
like, any
super
stuff.
Something about
confidential?
names.
My personal stuff is like completely like as much
But
as you.
there's no
as
really
much as you like.
There's really no concrete information so far. Like what the viewer will listen, they probably won't understand. Like what
Yeah.
the
Maybe
context,
for a while.
the context,
I think so.
the context of what
Look,
you're
I
saying.
think
So
if
I think
this helps
it's
you
fine
get
for now.
started, if this helps you get started, I'm happy to do that.
It's fine for now, but like maybe
If this like helps you,
I would recommend. I actually would recommend editing out the.
Yeah, I just want to know how much,
Yeah.
how long.
I definitely
The
I
car
recommend
part.
that for you
Yeah.
for sure.
maybe I'll end at the US
No,
stuff.
I think you should edit out the private stuff that we talked about, like
Yeah.
people who are not us,
Yeah. That's
especially
probably
to
a
do
good
with the
idea.
crypto stuff, because
Yeah, it's a bit
Sensitive.
sensitive.
these
Yeah.
things,
They're not
it's like if you edit it, 9 out of 10 chances it's fine if you leave it in, but it's that one time it's catastrophic.
Yeah. I get it.
That's very true. That I completely fuck
That's
somebody.
like that
Like imagine
that
if-
one random
imagine-
guy in
imagine if
the-
this is the reason Kenny goes to jail. How would you feel about
Yeah.
that?
Well, I don't think he goes, but yeah, sure.
Like who's Kenny?
Or if he
Just
just
to
gets,
make
if
sure
he, if
we
he gets
didn't-
murdered.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, Kenny doesn't exist, right?
Not on this podcast.
Yeah, not on this podcast. He's not a real person.
Yeah, I guess that part is hard about the podcast, huh? It's like, wow, okay.
So just like maybe avoid
Well,
the
I guess
Yeah,
secret
yeah.
stuff. I guess.
actual podcasting is just not talking about random shit. They actually have they have to think about what they're gonna talk.
That's true.
Maybe
Not
just like-
slipping.
Mick is pointing out the fact that
Not
just
slipping.
because Joe Rogan can do it easily
Doesn't mean that we
we
can.
can all do it easily.
Yeah, like
There's some finesse. To it.
It's like, oh
I think
yeah,
we
Joe
just have to
Rogan just talks for 4 hours and it's
focus
like,
on focus on a topic for a bit.
I think he do a bit of research before, like a night before or something before
No,
they start.
I think he does. He does.
He does, because when he talked to car people, he specifically asked them about exact
Maybe
video,
he-
or
or
maybe
maybe-
he watched it actually.
Maybe
or-
he has one person doing it for him. Like
could be. There must be
Yeah.
a team. or-
yeah,
I-
there's
I-
definitely a
there
team, man. He's
There
like
must be a team at
I'm
that,
not sure.
at that
Definite-
level.
I think-
definitely a team
I need.
because he has like a whole production crew, man.
yeah, of course, but like he
Early
has very
on-
minimalistic too.
Yeah,
early
yeah.
on.
And I
maybe
would say it's more likely that he chooses if he wants to study beforehand.
Mm.
He has complete
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more likely that he's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
if I
Because
feel like I'm gonna fucking do, otherwise
like
I'm
something that he's. Because
He's
he's,
completely free
definitely
to
not
do.
a jack of all trades, in every
Yeah,
topic,
yeah.
right? He's just.
Although he is very poly, like very.
I say
across.
because he talked to a lot of people that he probably
Yeah,
gained
well,
some
well,
and
information.
also his own credentials is like
Yeah,
pretty big.
he talked to a lot of people.
Yeah.
He-
Well, I don't know.
he
And
knows
now
people.
I'll maybe do it this next weekend or something.
yeah.
Anytime,
Something like whatever.
Anytime if we have time.
Yeah.
That's your podcast.
Let's try to make this weekly. But
So let's try and make it.
Weekly. We'll
yeah,
just-
Hotpot and car, man. Like That's weekly Hotpot. That's fun.
What makes us talk like car wise? Like, cause
Like something that triggers us pretty badly. Maybe
we should talk there when we actually see a picture of car.
and there
Interesting.
you have a laptop.
yes.
You pull it up. Oh, nice.
Oh yes.
All right. See you guys.
Cleanse